Hello, my loves. I'm Laura Evelyn, and if you don't already know me, I am an intuitive therapist, psychic medium, and life coach. I'm here today to talk about our inner child. What is our inner child? Well, we all have one. Every single person. If you were a child once, you still have an inner child. Our inner child is a massive part of our everyday life. They help us make decisions. They are the face behind our behaviours, the unconscious part of our mind and our soul that has shaped our beliefs around our early experiences. So depending on your experiences as a child in your early years, as you were growing up, you're going to have an inner child that reflects the childhood that you had. So if you had quite a loving, nurturing, comforting, supportive environment and parents and family and school life and great friends and a really healthy, happy childhood, you're likely to have a really healthy, happy inner child. Whereas if you had the opposite, if you had a family that were neglectful, abusive, nasty, controlling, possessive, you had teachers that were not nice, it will be reflected in your inner child now. Now, some people have worked through their inner child stuff and it's no longer a problem for them. But other people who have sort of, walked away from their childhood and were like, you know what, that's the past and I don't want to look at that anymore. I don't want to think about that. It can really manifest inside of them and create problems, create conflict, create fear, doubt, and judgment of self and others. And our behaviors are a real reflection of that. So when we find ourselves behaving from a place that is kind of childish or, over the top or dramatic, or we feel like, oh, I kind of regret the way I acted. That was really quite childish and immature. That is our inner child making an appearance, and she or he or they are very, very upset because they haven't got their needs met. They haven't felt heard, they haven't felt valued, they haven't felt loved, they haven't felt supported, nurtured, they haven't had those strong boundaries, and they are just stamping their foot, throwing a tantrum inside of you, and that will be reflected in your behavior. You might snap at somebody and afterwards feel really guilty and shameful about it, like, oh, that was really embarrassing, I can't believe I did that. And it's okay. You've got to be compassionate. You've got to realize that there's an inner child inside of you that is hurting, that needs to be heard, that wants to be heard, wants to be seen, wants to be loved, wants to be supported, needs those strong, healthy boundaries. You need to be the parent for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to come in now and be like, hey, you are acting out of hand and these are the healthy boundaries that I'm going to give you to help you work through your emotions. We are going to talk about it and we are going to have a cuddle and we're going to have a cry and we're going to scream into our pillow and we're going to be fine. No one's there to do that for you. So you need to do that for yourself. Your mum's not going to come over here and give you a cuddle when you've thrown a tantrum at work. Your mum's not going to come over and be like, oh, come here, darling. It's okay. Mummy's here now. I mean, she might, but for a lot of adults, that's not the case anymore because you are the adult now and you are responsible for how you behave and how you feel and how you think. Your dad's not going to come over and discipline you when you're acting out and when you're, binge eating and watching too much TV and sleeping in until noon and smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. Your dad's not going to come over anymore and give you healthy boundaries because you're the adult now. You need to do those things. If there was somebody coming around and giving you discipline for the things that you're doing that you know aren't good for you, you probably wouldn't do them because there's consequences. There are healthy boundaries in place, right? When you were a kid, I hope that your parents didn't allow you to go out and drink when you were 5 years old or 10 years old, I hope that they didn't allow you to go out and smoke cigarettes, and I hope that they didn't allow you to sit around all day binge watching TV when you should have been outside getting some exercise every now and then. I hope that they kept you accountable to your goals, and I hope that they supported you and nurtured you when you were feeling sad or when you were feeling hurt. For a lot of people, that wasn't the case, but that's why we need to show up and be those things for ourselves now. I hope that they did that for you then to help you learn how to do that for yourself now. But if they didn't, then it's easy to not know how to do those things. You haven't been taught. You haven't been shown how to take care of yourself the best way for you. You haven't been given those healthy boundaries. You haven't been given those healthy ways of nurturing and loving yourself and having empathy for yourself and compassion for yourself and for your inner child. So you just don't know how to do it. You just haven't been shown. Or maybe you were shown. Maybe you did get all of that stuff from your parents. And maybe you've forgotten that actually they're not around here anymore. They're not going to do that for me anymore because I'm an adult now and I actually need to do that stuff for myself. You know, maybe you just don't realize that you moved out of home and it's like, oh shit, mom doesn't fold my washing anymore. What? Who's going to fold my washing? You're going to fold your washing and you're going to get yourself up out of bed in the morning and you're going to cook yourself a healthy meal and you're going to go to the gym. You're going to exercise. You're going to go for a run. You're not going to get your mum to come over and wake you up to go for a run. You're not going to get your mum to come over and get you dressed so you can go to work. You're not going to get your dad to come over and hide all the alcohol so you don't have too much. You're not going to get your dad to come over and take away your cigarettes so that you stop smoking. You have to do all of those things for you because you need to step up and be the parent for yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. You need to be responsible for yourself. You need to be accountable to yourself. You need to set strong, healthy boundaries for yourself, and you need to have a relationship with yourself that is nurturing, loving, and supportive and kind. You need to have all of those things within yourself so that you can live a whole, healthy, happy, holistic life without ever having to depend on anybody else. Because guess what? The sad news is that one day your parents might not be here and they're not going to be able to do that stuff for you anymore. And one day your boyfriend or your girlfriend or the person that you love or your friend might not be around anymore. You know, they might dump you, they might die, they might run off with the pixies, who knows? It's, you know, you might have a falling out. And then who's going to look after you? Who's going to give you all of those things that you aren't giving yourself? Nobody. And then what are you going to do? It's like, holy shit, all of a sudden I've got no one looking after me. What? How am I going to live? How am I going to survive? Well, you need to learn how to do that stuff for yourself. You need to take care of yourself and of your inner child now. You need to set boundaries with your inner child. What do I mean by setting boundaries with your inner child? Okay. So oftentimes when we're acting out, it's from a place of frustration, anger, sadness, fear, hurt, shame, guilt, whatever it is, we are acting out, and that comes from our inner child. That comes from the part of us that is traumatized or who feels attacked or feels defenseless and has to protect themselves, right? And our behavior reflects our inner child. So if our behavior is not serving us, if our behavior is toxic or it is self-sabotaging or it is escapism or it is, if it was harmful, if it is critical, if it is judgmental, that is your inner child behaving in a way that is acting out from a place of fear. Well, setting boundaries with yourself around self-sabotaging would mean, okay, well, I'm going to be the parent for myself now. I'm going to be the father that is disciplining me. I'm going to discipline myself from my inner father because I am drinking every night and I am smoking weed every day and I can't think straight and I'm all over the shop and I'm not doing any work. I know I need to work so I can make some money, but I'm not doing it because I've just got so much self-sabotage going on that I just can't think straight. I'm eating ice cream for dinner every night and I'm putting on weight and I'm not exercising and I feel like shit and I need someone to come and save me. Well, to set healthy boundaries from yourself is to be that disciplinary role in your life from a place of love, not from a place of, oh, I have to go run 500 kilometers because I ate a tub of ice cream last night, because that's just punishing yourself. I'm not saying punish yourself. I'm saying set healthy boundaries with yourself. Non-negotiables. I am not going to do that because I know it's not good for me. Would my father let me do that? Would I let my child do that? No. So why am I letting myself do that? Why am I self-sabotaging myself? Is it serving me? Is it limiting me? If so, how? And if so, how can I fix this? How can I heal this? What boundaries do I need to set for myself? What non-negotiables do I need to have to keep myself safe, to keep myself healthy and happy and well? That's how you can set healthy boundaries for yourself, is to consider what you would allow your child to do and what is healthy for them, and then having those same rules for yourself. Like, obviously you're an adult, so you can have a drink every now and then. You can, smoke cigarettes every now and then if you want to, or if you want to, stay up late, you can. You've just got to make sure that you're not doing it day in, day out, and you're just sabotaging. If you want to sabotage yourself, if that's what you want, then feel free. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. I just feel like so many people want someone else to come and save them from their own sabotage, and it's like, excuse me, you're the one sabotaging yourself. You have to be the one to save you. No one else is going to do it. It's no one else's responsibility. It's yours. You're an adult, so do it. When a child running a program from your childhood or from your experiences, or rebelling against your parents, whatever reason, it's angry, it's sad, it's frustrated, whatever it is, you just need to listen to your inner child. What are you trying to tell me here? Like, what is your behavior demonstrating? Like, what's at the core of all of this? What's the big issue here? Might be just doing it for fun. Your inner child might just want some fun, and you're not allowing yourself to have fun. You're a workaholic, so the only time you get to let loose is when you have 3 bottles of wine. Or the only time that you get to let loose is when you smoke a ton of weed. Or the only time you get to let loose is when you stay up late, watch TV all night, and then the next day you wake up feeling like shit. It's this ongoing cycle. It's this bottomless pit. If you're not meeting your inner child's needs and wants and desires, it's going to throw a tantrum. It's going to rebel. It's the same with, like, when your inner child does rebel, you've got to have compassion for yourself, like a mother would with their child. Like, if you have children, if you're a mother or if you're a father, or if you want to have children one day, or if you know any children, how would you respond if they were having a meltdown, or if they were really upset? Would you be mean to them and say, get out of here, I don't want to look at you? Or would you be like, okay, come here, let's talk about this. Like, let's have some compassion, let's be supportive, let's be loving. It's just the same with yourself. You've got to be like that with yourself as well. You've got to be able to be the mother, the nurturer, the lover, the person that is there to support and comfort. And if you've never learned how to be a healthy mother or father to yourself or to your children, if you didn't have anyone to teach you these things, what do you wish that you had? What do you observe in others that you wish that you had? Or is there an archetype that you can step into? Do you know a TV show where you see a mother and a father on there that are the ultimate mother and father, and you're like, wow, I wish I had that? Step into those archetypes. Use them as an example. You don't have to have had a healthy, happy relationship with your mother and father to have a healthy, happy relationship with yourself. You can learn how to create those things with yourself. You can learn how to be your own mother and father the way you want to be, not the way that you were shown. If you had a toxic relationship as a child with your parents, or you didn't even know your parents, or your parents passed away early and you've never met them, or whatever it is, everyone has a different story to tell about childhood. That doesn't mean that you're broken. That doesn't mean that your inner child is doomed. It doesn't. The good news is that you can relearn. If you can learn it, you can relearn it. And all of our inner child stuff is learned behavior. So overall, our inner child is just a part of our shadow self. Sometimes our inner child just wants to have fun, just wants to be free, just wants to go and do something exciting, go ride a bike, climb a tree, play a sport, play with the kids. Sometimes our inner child just wants to play with the children. And if we don't slow down and allow our inner child to express him or herself in the ways that they need to in order to feel fulfilled, they will behave in ways that are sabotaging or rebellious or naughty, just to get us to pay attention to them. That's what they do. It's just like a child. If you ignore a child, like if you have kids, you'll know, if you ignore them for long enough, if you don't take them out for that kick of the footy that you said you'd do 3 hours ago, they're going to start doing something naughty to get your attention, because you're just like, okay, yep, in a minute, mummy's working, daddy's working, whatever. Or yep, in a minute, I'm cooking dinner. Oh, yeah, but you said you'd take me outside. Yeah, well, now I'm cooking dinner, and then I've got to wash the dog, and then I've got to do the washing and whatever. They're going to be like, what the hell, this isn't cool. Mum said she'd play with me. Dad said he'd play with me. So they'll start behaving in a way that is rebellious. They'll, go and draw on the walls, or they will deliberately wet their pants, or, they'll go and make a mess on purpose, but act like it wasn't on purpose. They'll do things that sabotage because they're angry, or that they just feel like this is the only thing that'll get your attention. It's the same with our inner self. They will self-sabotage, they will behave naughty, they will do all of those things until you stop and pay attention to them so that they can get their needs met. That's all it's about. Meeting the needs of our inner child, meeting our needs for fun, meeting our needs for play, meeting our needs for enjoyment and freedom and adventure and variety and excitement. And sometimes we do that through eating bad food. Like, a lot of the time, if you're a binge eater and you love chocolate and you love eating anything sweet, that is your inner child trying to get some sort of comfort, because maybe you're not allowing yourself comfort. Maybe you're not giving yourself comfort in the way that you need. Self-love, self-care, support. Maybe you have really negative self-talk, and your inner child feels really hurt by that. So the only way it feels comfortable is by eating lots of chocolate, or, doing something really rebellious and cheeky. And then you think, oh, why did I do that? Why did I eat that food? I feel so shit now. And it's like, well, maybe if you give yourself comfort and love and nurture yourself and meet your needs for fun and variety, then your inner child won't act out like that, and you don't have to feel like shit. You've just got to remember that you are not just you. You're not just this person that you see in the mirror. There's so much deeper inside of you. Like, you're just the tip of the iceberg, and underneath all these layers, if you peel back the layers of the onion, you can see that there's so many different parts of you that need to have their needs met. Your shadow self, your inner child, your masculine, your feminine, they all need to have their needs met too. You are not just one person. You are a variety of archetypes making up this one person. And it's a holistic approach to love and healing for yourself by meeting all of your different needs in different ways. It doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just give yourself time to do the things you enjoy. Give yourself time to have self-care, self-love. Give yourself time to exercise, or to journal, or to meditate, or to play with the kids, or to play some sport, or to go for a bike ride, or to climb a tree, or whatever it is. Allow yourself time to do some of those things sometimes. The overarching message here is to just enjoy life, to be free, to have fun, and to keep it simple. Don't be serious all the time. It's not necessary, and it's not serving you. And your inner child is going to be like, oh my God, if you don't give me the time of day, I'm going to keep on throwing tantrums. I'm going to keep on binge eating chocolate, and I'm going to keep on embarrassing you at work by throwing tantrums every time someone offends you. So that's what I've got for you today. If you like this video, please hit subscribe so you never miss another episode, and give the video a like and share it with a friend or a loved one so that I can help as many people as I can get my hands on. And please go down to the show notes so that you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, which is where you'll see most of my work. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.